Welcome back to the Blueprint Podcast, everybody. Zachary.
Hey, how we doing?
I'm good. I haven't seen you all day.
I know. Just kidding.
We've been together all day.
All day, every day.
Watching videos. Doing some self-education. What are we educating ourselves on, Mr. Hire?
Well, I think we've been doing a lot of education in the real estate space, have we not?
Sure have.
Yeah, because if anybody's been keeping up with any content, we're trying to build a 7-figure business by the end of this year.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. You know what we're figuring out.
It's a ton of work.
Yeah.
That nothing's as easy as what you think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, like our boy Bridger Pennington said today in a video, people always put the meat out there, but it's like, show us how it's made. You know,
Yeah.
not a lot of people show you how it's made.
Yeah.
And it is much more complex as far as everything, even the most simple of things.
100%, dude. And it takes so much more time. And it kind of goes into that cycle, right? Of the cycle of a new business, of entrepreneurship, of whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
where you start, you're all excited. You have uninformed optimism. I don't know what the meat and potatoes are, and I'm so excited. You know,
Yeah.
we're running the calculations. This is how much
Counting
we're gonna,
commission, yeah.
counting commission. That's how much money we're going to make, right? And then you move into informed pessimism, because now you realize, oh shoot, this is a lot harder and a lot more detailed and a lot more work than I thought. And now I don't know if I can do this anymore.
And I would say this is the stage of informed pessimism, as you would like to say, or as Hormozy would like to say.
Right. Yeah.
I would say that's where 99% of people drop off is when
Well-
they find out, oh, it's not as easy as it seems.
Well, and the next step is the valley of despair. So you have uninformed optimism, you have informed pessimism. Now you've reached the valley of despair. Now it's, oh my goodness, this is so much more work than I thought. This is so much more complex. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Mhm.
Right. And so many people drop off there because instead of problem solving, instead of chipping away at the brick wall, they say, because what do? They find another business
Yeah.
where it's uninformed optimism,
Yeah.
where they're counting commission, right? They're counting how much money's going to be hitting the bank. And it's just a cycle. But on the other side of the valley of despair is informed optimism.
Yep.
Now
And that's growth.
that's growth. It's, hey, now I know where the landmines are. I know what the problem is. I'm working toward a solution and we're figuring it out.
And so what are we figuring out? Where are we headed? What are we doing?
I mean, right now,
Short term.
Yeah,
There's a short term and a long term play. To this.
Yep. And that's how we can kind of break this down. Short term, long term. So short term is we are really trying to build the wholesale novation flip business right now. As we've discussed, we'd love to, by the end of this year, getting that thing going. Top line, $100,000 a month.
Yeah, get the short term. So for lack of a better term, get the short term investment, pumping up the volume.
Yep.
Here soon, and just basically trying to earn quickly, turn and burn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the short term game. And holy crap, as we are learning,
It's a lot of work.
there are nuances. I think Zach spent about dang near 8 hours studying Nebraska state law and realtor regulations
Oh my
for the state of
gosh.
Nebraska, trying to get a deal done. But it's on its way.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we're pretty close.
jumping through a million
Pretty close.
hoops because we refuse to take no for an answer.
Exactly.
But that's just, again, the uninformed pessimism.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, we're figuring things out, and holy crap, it takes systems to build this thing at scale, because you can't rely on us.
Mhm.
So you got to rely on systems. And we're slowly learning that, holy crap, that is just an absolute beast trying to do this at scale
It
and
is
systematize it,
It is such a beast, dude.
because it takes a crap ton of reps to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then after the crap ton of reps, you got to build systems
Yeah,
that can
yeah.
withstand 10x those reps.
Yeah, and you basically have to build those systems because something that we discuss all the time is we don't want to work in the business. We want to work on the business, right?
Mhm.
And we just don't want to be high paid employees. We want to be legitimate business owners.
Mhm.
So not only do we have to do the reps to understand and know how to build this business, but in the meantime, what are we doing? We're sitting in here, we're building out spreadsheets, we're building out Word docs, everything where we're spelling out the SOPs, the standard operating procedures, when the time comes that we're looking to hire, build, and grow. And I mean, gee whiz, that in and of itself is a ton, because you have to be so specific to the most granular details and basically build it in a way that it's like, well, if somebody came in here not having any experience, knowing nothing, they could do the job, because
you could plug a monkey in and they can get it done. Right. It's as I would like to say, you want to make it so easy a golden retriever could do it.
Yeah. But by making it so easy that a golden retriever could do it, that's a lot of work. And
it is a lot of work.
Really think through everything.
But I think that is that's the peak. Like once you get through the systems, I think our business will peak.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then, I mean, building out like something that's like even crazier, because we're doing flips too. What's even crazier is like the systems that we have to come up for that. Yeah. Like calculating, as far as like standard price per square foot, because you just have a lot more like inconsistent numbers.
Yeah, you do.
And you're messing with other people's money. And so it's like, you got to be extremely needled as far as like our systems there to make sure that we are running worst case scenarios, covering our butts, but still getting a good deal.
Yeah. And building it out so that way, in theory, if an investor wants to invest money, which is the ultimate goal, is to go raise the money, so that way we're not having to come out of pocket, but we're taking on and doing literally everything and getting it down so much so that literally all the investor has to do is send one wire.
Yeah.
And they're done.
And even the systems for like that's another thing, building onboarding for investors, and creating systems for that to cut out all the friction, to make sure you have a great client investor satisfaction rating, to therefore keep retention on investors. And speaking of investors, what's our long-term play? What are we looking to do?
Yeah, so that's short term, and what we would ideally like to do is get that built, get that running without us involved.
Yeah.
And then we go try to play in the big boy sandbox, which, not to say that isn't. I mean, there's
guys doing $1 million a month, what we're doing.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that there is serious money to be made there, but we really want to get into, it's kind of a marriage between private equity and real estate. Because, as I don't know how many people are aware of this, but the vast majority of millionaires are made in real estate. Like 99% of billionaires are made in private equity. And not saying that, we're striving to go be a billionaire, but, playing in those highest leveraged activities. And one thing that we want to do is marry the two of those, because our experience is in the real estate environment. And we essentially want to go out and start a real estate fund. So go out, raise capital from investors, put together a fund, and then go deploy that into larger multifamily type assets. But once again, we're realizing that is kind of hard.
The spreadsheets alone.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
How does a human comprehend these pro formas that these guys are just a different breed? And that's what we talk about all the time. It's like, we both want to raise a real estate fund, right? We're looking to raise millions and millions and millions of dollars to go deploy into multifamily assets, or value add assets. And it's like, I mean, that sounds easy to us because we love relationship building and talking. Obviously, we love talking.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, I can't build out a pro forma in Microsoft Excel.
Yeah. And well, I think that's what comes into it then, is that's kind of why we're leaning on the wholesale flip novation business, because that's going to juice capital into us. So that way we have some money, but everybody has strengths and everybody has weaknesses.
Yeah, right. It's just finding and plugging in.
Right. And I think that our strength is going out and recruiting capital, recruiting investors, building relationships.
and
Pro-
having an understanding of how real estate works.
Right.
Maybe not to the point of calculating every minute detail into a spreadsheet.
Right. But having an
But-
understanding of
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah.
But then going out and finding somebody that, hey, they are numbers driven,
Masters in economics.
accounting,
Yeah.
finance, all the things,
Mhm.
in allowing them to excel in that role, allowing us to excel in our role.
Mhm.
And because, stereotypical speaking, the guys that live in a spreadsheet probably aren't going to be the same guys going out and building the relationships
100%.
and all that kind of stuff. But in reverse, we're probably not going to be just like diving into the spreadsheets every day. So finding that good, balance of strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
But that's ultimately where we want to go.
That's the long-term play.
That's what we want to do.
Raising a real estate fund, recruiting millions of dollars to go deploy in multifamily assets.
Yeah.
And then ultimately that's kind of where we want to end up.
Yeah.
Really. And then be in multiple different markets after we master Southwest Ohio,
Mhm.
which define master at that point. I don't know. I don't know
Right.
if you ever master that.
Yeah.
level,
no, for sure.
So I think it's a great long-term play. We're really looking forward to it. And honestly, it's kind of fun, learning about this stuff,
It is.
because we are pushing ourselves to greater things, and I could tell we are, because we are sharpening skill sets, and we're gaining new skills.
And it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's extremely uncomfortable.
I feel like an idiot at times.
I feel like a complete idiot.
I've done enough in the real estate space. I've done 500 some transactions in single family. So, I'm thinking, okay, I have a pretty good grasp on how this stuff works. Not even slightly, not even remotely.
Yeah, you
it's
step into this, it's just a whole nother level.
starting over. It's
Yeah.
almost like you're starting over. And in some of that is, can happen at the same time of it's discouraging because you're like, holy smokes, I know nothing.
It's extremely discouraging because I
It's-
can't comprehend some of this stuff.
No, 100%. It's like it's the first times I'm hearing it.
But also
right?
it's encouraging.
But it's also encouraging because we look out on the horizon, look what the opportunities are.
Yeah.
Look where, and also the encouraging part is because it's hard, a lot of people aren't going to do it.
That's what I was telling somebody else the other day. I was like, now I see why people aren't talking about a lot of this stuff. And it's like the guy who we follow on YouTube, we watch all of his videos. I mean, he has
Yeah.
12,000 subscribers compared to wholesalers who have hundreds and thousands of
Right.
subscribers, because it's such a niche field that
Yeah.
not everybody wants to get into because it's super, super hard.
It is super hard. And I feel like so many people just don't understand that it's even available.
Yeah.
I didn't even really think of it until
Yeah.
we really dug in. We're like, what would be the best, highest, and most efficient use of our time, and where we can generate long-standing generational wealth?
Mm.
What avenues are there? And I didn't know until we did the research to figure some of this stuff out. And then, you're confronted with reality of
You don't know anything, dude.
anything.
You flipped a couple of houses, you own a couple more, investment properties. Yeah, you don't know anything.
Yeah. There's levels to it, so to
But
speak.
I also feel extremely comfortable to it. I also feel extremely comfortable going into it because of the circle that we have.
I was going to say the network. Yeah.
The mentorship that we have, we're extremely grateful for.
Second to none, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
Guys who have been through this stuff and understand, organizational flow charts, law side, and
yeah. I mean,
financial architects.
I mean-
And so it's extremely exciting to see how far these mentors can take us, because
Yeah.
honestly, without any mentorship, forget about it.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things that I've come to the realization of. When you're getting started, you have a little bit of success. You think that I can do this. You start to
Mhm.
think relatively highly of yourself, and in reality, that will be your detriment.
Mhm.
And having the humility to sit down and say, you know what, I am far from knowing it all. There are levels to this, and what am I going to do? I'm going to go out and seek somebody
Mhm.
that has been there, done that has far more experience, far more wisdom than I do. And I'm going to do everything that I can to, in some capacity, provide value to them. And then in return, hopefully, they would give me a little bit of knowledge on how to proceed.
Mhm.
Because especially as we're moving into this space, man, eh, I mean, I don't want to say that there'd be a 0% chance of us getting it done without these people.
I wouldn't say zero, but it
but
definitely expedites the process.
it expedites the process, and it gives credibility, because when you're going out and you're raising millions of dollars to deploy into these things, one, you got to figure out, because analyzing the economics of a single family flip or a duplex is significantly different than analyzing an
88 unit like we watched today. Yeah.
Exactly. It
He
is
had 6 different spreadsheets for one property.
it is significantly different. So looking at it from that lens, but then also you don't have any track record. So who's going to invest, a $500,000 check with you, $1 million check with you, right? Without the track record. Well, because we have this sphere of connections that we've been blessed to know, that's just going to expedite that learning curve and almost work as training wheels, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah. So it's
And
exciting stuff.
And I think that that's priceless.
Yeah. It's real exciting stuff. So we got a short-term play. We got a long-term play. Just the beginning. We're learning a crap ton.
Yeah,
And it's exciting.
it is.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I do want to say this, because this is to no value of us, but as we're talking to our network, if someone's interested in passively investing into real estate, they don't want to, get the phone calls at 2 a.m. They don't want to
project manage,
all the
find
things,
the deals, source
right?
the deals, dispo the deals.
Exactly. But you still want to get returns that are outperforming the market. This is a great option to invest in tangible assets, right? That's going to give you returns that are above and beyond that of the stock market. This is a great play, and not because of this is something that we're doing it in the belief in us, but the belief in the network that we have guiding us as we're launching this, right? I mean, one guy helped raise $2 billion of capital. You learn a lot, right?
Yeah.
And their specialties are larger properties,
Yeah.
and understanding the underwriting process of those economics. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Great to have in our corner.
For sure. So, I mean, it's a great place to put your money. That's why we're kind of starting it, right? Is for those reasons, to be able to provide value to investors. So yeah, I mean, as we get things going, could be an option if you're looking to invest into real estate without all the BS.
Hop on the LNF train.
That's right. That was stupid.
At least you called it out. We're leaving that in there. Well, now you got a picture of what we're up to. And stay tuned for more.
Yeah, because we're at the beginning stages, man, of everything.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
Putting in the work.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
All right, guys.
All right.
Next time.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.